Welcome to the demonstration of the Amanda Enterprise 3.1. What we're looking at here is the login screen to the Zamanda Management Console, a place where you can log in to control your entire backup environment from one location. Upon logging in, we're taken to the Admin Backup Sets tab, where you can begin creating your backup configurations, where you will have your various configurations for how you're going to back up your data in different ways. You can create as many backup sets as you want. Typical sort of configuration would be if you have backups that are going to be done daily going to disk, you might create a daily to disk backup set. If you have backups that you want to take off-site on a monthly basis, you might create a monthly off-site backup set. The general rule is that backup sets contain information on unique media, so each backup set will have its own set of media and it will have its own retention period. Clicking on the demo set backup set, I can now go to the backup configuration area, and the way we've chosen to break down backups is according to what data you want to back up, where you want the backups to go, when you want the backups to happen, and how you'd like to back the data up. And if you can answer these questions, then you can configure backup sets. On the Backup What tab, this is where you'll configure the various types of clients that you might want to put in the backup set. You can have the same clients in multiple backup sets as you want, because again, backup sets, they all have their own separate media, so if you want to back up the same clients in different ways, or if you want to back up the same clients to different forms of media, then you can just create different backup sets with that information. Adding new clients to the backup set is pretty simple. You can select either a file system, and this could be Linux or Unix, Mac, NDMP, which is a new feature in 3.1, CIFS, Solaris, Windows. Those are some of the different types of file systems you can back up. Databases include Microsoft SQL Server, Oracle running on either Linux or Windows, Postgres, and applications, Exchange, SharePoint, and then new in Amanda 3.1 is support for VMware ESX virtual machine backups. Adding new clients is pretty straightforward. You select the type of client you want to add, you enter information such as the host name, a directory on that host that you want to back up, and then any sort of excludes, and these can be either regular expressions, it could be the name of a directory that you don't want to back up, or it could be specific files that you don't want backed up, separated by spaces. Enabling encryption can be done on either server or client side. You're responsible for maintaining your own passkeys. Amanda uses open formats for all of its backups and encryption and compression. So tools like GPG will be used for encryption. For compression, it'll be gzip or zip, depending on whether you're backing up data off of Windows or Linux or Unix. For creating new NDMP backups, you would just select NDMP. And here you're able to choose the vendor of your NDMP device. So currently NetApp, BlueArc, Sun Unified Storage, these have all been tested with Amanda. Other NDMP devices may work as well, but might require some manual configuration. So entering the host name, the username, and the password to a user that has privileges which are sufficient to initiate NDMP backups on your device. And then as you can see, if you hover over the directory field, it gives you a format for the convention of your NDMP device that you need to follow. So // filer name or IP address / volume name / file system. So we can click in here, enter host name, volume, and then file system. For configuring new VMware backups, you would select a VMware backup. You would enter the path to the virtual machine on your ESX server, an ESX username and password, And then you can select whether you're going to encrypt the virtual machine or compress the virtual machine. So once we've come up with a list of clients that we want to back up, we then choose where we want those backups to go. Amanda Enterprise supports backing up to disk, tape, tape changer, or Amazon S3. For the purpose of this demo, I've chosen a disk-based backup, and I've set backups to be stored at bar lib amanda vtapes. Once I go to the Backup Where tab, I can then choose how many virtual tapes I want to use in my configuration and the size of these virtual tapes. This is used for calculating what your retention period is. So each time Amanda runs, it uses a tape, and once all of the tapes have been used, then it cycles through and uses the older tapes. So if we have backups running 7 days a week and we have 14 virtual tapes, then this gives us a retention period of 2 weeks. Configuring a staging area is going to allow Amanda to do things like multi-streaming backups so that you can back up multiple clients at a time. So it's primarily used for performance, but it's also used for ensuring that when writing to a tape that your tape gets written to properly. It's important to know that backups, where they're staged, should be on storage that's internal to the backup server, or at least accessible via some sort of high performance connection. Storing the staging on some sort of NFS mount probably won't be sufficient. And a general guideline for how large the staging area should be is that it should be large enough to hold a full backup of the largest client you have configured in your backup set. So if you have 5 clients and the largest client is 100 gigabytes, then you should have at least 100 gigabytes of staging. Amanda will still perform backups even if it doesn't have enough staging area. It just, for the clients that it can't fit into the staging area, it might back those up at a slightly reduced performance. On the Backup How tab, you have some performance-related parameters that you can set, including how many different servers can be backed up at the same time. And then you also have some timeouts that you can set and an email address. This email address gets a notification once the backup has finished running. So it'll give you some statistics about how the backup ran and things like that. If you have multiple email addresses that you want notified, then you can go ahead and enter multiple email addresses separated by commas, and those will all get notifications upon completion of the backup. The Backup When tab is where you can set your schedule, and there's a few different options, which is new in Amanda 3.1 for setting your schedule. You can set multiple times of day that you want backups to run. So if you have backups that you want to run every 4 hours, you can go and choose times every 4 hours in order for the backups to do that. Still supported in Amanda is the use of Amanda's Intelligent Scheduler. The way this works is that you set a backup cycle, and a backup cycle is a period of time where you want full backup to happen of each of your clients. Automatically using the Amanda Intelligence Scheduler, Amanda will load balance the backups between all of the clients you have configured in the backup set so that all the clients get a full backup once a week, but Amanda will make a determination on when it wants to do the full backup of the client instead of you having to specify when you want the full backup to happen of the client. New in 3.1 is the ability to choose a different type of schedule. So there's some different options. Backing up every day, backing up every weekday. These are options as well, so that this simplifies the process of configuring backups for these types of configurations. Also supported now is to perform an incremental backup on the weekdays and a full backup on Saturday, or an incremental backup on the weekdays and full backup on Sunday. So choosing these makes it very simple to perform these types of backups. And then finally,